Hey, it's Todd Graves, co-founder of Graves Golf. Thank you for joining me tonight. I want to welcome you to the Academy, and we're here tonight to talk about something I think is close to your heart, close to my heart, which is finally helping you improve your golf game. And I know that sounds like you've heard that before, but that's what I'm here to do tonight, is really show you the solution you've been looking for. We call this program the last golf lesson you'll ever need, because what I'm going to prove to you tonight really is common sense. And I'm going to show you a couple things, and I want to show you what we're going to talk about. But a little bit about myself. My name is Todd Graves. I co-founded this academy based on one mission, is to help people become better at the game of golf. And that included becoming a more consistent ball striker, you hitting the golf ball better. And that derived from me being exactly where you are right now. I was also a struggling golfer. I was trying to play golf for a living, struggling like crazy. Back in the early 90s, I decided to take on the task of becoming a better striker of a golf ball. That means, how do you hit a golf ball better? More fairways, more greens in regulation. That way I could shoot lower scores, make fewer, have fewer putts, shoot lower scores. All those things are about playing the game of golf. But my ball striking was keeping me from being a good golfer, the golfer I wanted to be. Maybe you experienced the same thing. So what I did was I decided to go approach the best instructors in the world. And I always tell people, no one has spent more money on golf instruction than me. And I started working with the best in the world, guys that were working with the PGA Tour players, the best instructors I could find. And I spent 3 years working with the best in the world and got worse. And so there was a big problem I saw in a number of things. Number one, the way the game was being taught, the way the swing was being taught, the entire process of teaching the swing. That was the first thing. And the actual swing that the world teaches, which most golf instructors teach, had some fundamental flaws. Tonight, I'm going to solve both of those for you. But let me show you really where you are right now, because this is where I was, and you wouldn't be in this show tonight if you weren't in the same situation. Let me put it up here. I have a whiteboard here. And by the way, tonight as I go through the program, you're going to see me show you some things on this whiteboard. We're going to go through some things, but I also have a chat opened up. You're welcome to put some comments in the chat, and I'll get to some questions here as the program continues. But keep in mind, I want you to recognize one thing, that, I got a question for the group here, because I see some people already in the chat. I want to know, just give me a thumbs up, how many people, give me a thumbs up if you've taken golf instruction before. Just give me lessons from a pro, or maybe you've taken a lot of golf instruction, but I want to see a thumbs up if you guys have taken some lessons. Give me some heads up on that, so I can see how many people are out there involved in the world of golf instruction. But here's why you guys have had so many problems. I'm going to lay it out on this whiteboard for you. The first reason that you've struggled so much is you have no plan. Like you really don't have a way of approach. You don't have a systematic blueprint or a way you're going to get better, right? You've gone about it randomly. So that's the first reason. The second reason is you have not had a model, no model. So no swing model, and you don't have a swing model because you were like me. You're out there, you're guessing. So you hit a ball badly. My grip, was it my setup? Was it my swing path? Was it ball position? So you're out there guessing, probably, all right? And the other thing too is you're searching. And the reason I know you're searching is because you wouldn't be here tonight if you were not searching, right? You go to my YouTube channel, you go to other YouTube channels, you're searching, right? Like I was, searching for some solutions to your problem. Tonight, watch this. I am going to absolutely give you a plan. So this is my goal tonight. I'm going to give you a plan. That's number one. I'm going to give you a plan tonight that will solve your golf swing issues for the rest of your life. Sounds great. I promise you I'll do that. And then I'm going to give you a model. So I'm going to give you a model tonight. I'm going to actually show you a perfect swing model based in science, based on the way your brain works, which is an easier way to strike a golf ball. And here's the thing. When I show you the model, guess what? You no longer have to guess, and you no longer have to search. So I am going to solve all of your issues tonight. I'm going to basically build you a plan, show you how to learn a golf swing. And this plan is better than just learning. It's going to show you how you solve your golf swing problems with it. It's going to show you how you strengthen your golf swing. It really solves all of your issues when you talk about having a better golf swing, becoming a better ball striker. And then I'm gonna show you the simplest model to hit a golf ball with. If I show you those two things, I can guarantee you improvement. Because this is the problem you've had, and this is why most golfers, and it's been this way for almost 70 years, don't break 100. The male scores have been around 100 for 70 years. Golf is too difficult for the average person because of these things. No plan, no model, they're guessing and they're searching. But here, let me show you something. And I'm gonna show you the plan. I'm gonna get right to it, okay? So here's what I want you to understand about, we need a process, all right? So let me show you the exact process, but I'm gonna do this in a very interesting way. If I was gonna teach you how to dance, all right, dance, or if I was gonna teach you how to play the piano, or any martial arts, really a skill, any skill. Let's talk about golf for a minute, but let's talk about any skill. The first thing I would do is I would teach you positions, right? I would teach you the positions of your body if I was teaching you to dance. What positions? If it was a 10-step dance, I'd teach you position 1. How to hold your body, position 2. What's your body like in position 3? Position 4, position 5. So I would teach you positions, right? If I was teaching you to play the piano, I have to learn the notes. Notes are nothing more than the positions of your hands. So I would teach you the positions of your hands. That means the notes. You put those notes together, you play a chord. You put those chords and those notes together, you play music. But I gotta teach you positions first, okay? Then, once I teach you the positions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I put those positions into a sequence, right? Sequence. And by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4 is a sequence, right? So I'm putting the dance steps in the correct order into sequence. And then when I added the right amount of speed to it, guess what? You get a dance. If you're playing music and I add the right rhythm to it, you now have a song and you play music, okay? So then I add speed. All right, so now you see, very simple formula, right? I teach you positions first, I teach you sequence, and I teach you then to put it together with speed, and now you can dance, you can play music, and guess what? This is exactly how the golf swing should be taught. Now here's the thing about it. That is really what we call the progressive formula. That is the way you progress your way into learning any physical skill. Now, I want to see the chat. Give me a thumbs up. I told you, everything tonight's going to be common sense. There's nothing bizarrely difficult about this, right? You understand this, okay. This is not how the average human being learns to play golf. And this is where one of the first problems arises when you look at how people learn golf. I'll bet you did this. I bet somebody gave you a golf club, or somehow you got a hand-me-down club, or your buddies took you out, or your friends took you out, or you went out with somebody, and guess what? You started swinging, didn't you? That's what I did. You started swinging away. Well, what you were doing is you were trying to add speed. That was your first thing. Add speed to this club. I want this ball to go. And you start moving, but you had no idea how to position yourself at all. You had no idea what sequence the body should work in, right? So you actually learned golf exactly backwards. And here's the problem with this. This is what everybody does. We learn it backwards, and now we're building habits. And and then what happens is we've learned it backwards. We're putting speed to something we don't have good positions with. We don't have good technique. And then we try to solve it. We go out there and we look for some quick tip, some solution, some YouTube tip, some tip off the TV. We watch Scotty Scheffler. We try to figure out if he's doing something that can help us, and we're in the never land of golf instruction. And this is why you're struggling to get better, and why almost every golfer out there, they don't get better. And my mission in my golf career as a coach, and I've been doing this now 30 years, is to solve this issue. And I've been doing this now. I've been doing this webinar, just this program, solving people's issues like this, for now almost 2 years. We've been doing this, teaching people that there is a much better way to progress. It's called the progressive formula. But here's what happens. If I teach you, and I'm going to add something to this formula. I'm going to add the starting position, which is address and grip. So if I get you set up correctly, and I'll show you this. If I get you set up correctly, and I get you moving through the positions of the swing, I teach you the positions of the swing, and then I put you into sequence, and I can add speed to you, and you'll have a great golf swing. It's that simple. but I've got to go through this process, and you have to go through this process too. Now, here's the beautiful thing about this. How many of you, give me a 1 if you're new to this, like new to the single plane swing, what I'm going to talk about tonight. Give me a 1 if you're new to this. And I want to see how many people are brand new to hearing me talk about this. And the other thing I want you to understand is this progressive formula, if you look at what I'm doing here, it's not only for people that are beginning in this program. It's not only for you guys that are brand new to this. It's for anybody, no matter what level you're at. I use this formula exactly. I'm going to show you that I still use this today, and I'm really good at striking a golf ball. And this is how I also use the formula. So this is a formula you will use not only to learn the swing, to maintain the swing. You can see it up here, learn, diagnose, maintain, and strengthen your swing. This will solve all of your future golf swing issues. I know it sounds like I'm blowing smoke, and I know it sounds crazy, but I'm here to give you a strategy. I'm here to give you a plan. I'm here to solve your issues, and I'm going to do that with this formula. All right, so let's go through this really quickly. Now, when I talk about this progressive formula, address and grip, I'm going to go through this and show you the positions of a perfect golf swing. And then I'll talk about this. But what I'm looking for here, when I show you the positions of the swing, is the entire purpose of a golf swing. And you guys might understand this about how we become more consistent. To become a great ball striker, there's really only one thing I need to do. Get the club back to the moment of impact the same way every time. So if you look at where impact is, here's impact, right? There's my impact position. This is where the club comes in and strikes the golf ball. Now, look at my body's position. My arm is lined up, back of the hand to the target, trail arm is bent, knee is stable. You can look at, I could walk you through all these elements of impact, but the point is that the goal of a golf swing is to return this club to the same spot at impact every time with the face square so the ball flies straight. So everything that I would show you in a golf swing, the model that we talked about, the model of the golf swing I want to show you is the easiest way to get to that impact position. Right? Give me a 10 if that makes sense. So the swing model I want to show you is one that achieves impact the most consistently. I say biomechanics, don't get confused on biomechanics, just the way the body works, the most efficient way the body can get us to impact. That's the goal, all right? Now, I'll say this. I'm going to walk you quickly through the positions of the swing. I'm going to show you why it's so effective and what's so important about it. But I want to emphasize this one point, that if you don't learn the positions of the swing, if you don't learn how to address and grip, and you don't learn the positions, you should not be sequencing, you should not add speed. We have to work in the proper order. So let me go through the positions of the single plane swing. Let me explain it first, go through it, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to actually do this from down the line first, this perspective, because I want you to see this. The very first thing I want to do with you is put you in an address position that makes impact easy. Everything that I do in this swing I demonstrate for you tonight is designed to make the moment of impact easier, simple, and more consistent. That's the whole purpose of this simple swing. So now, let me reference one thing really fast. How many of you, and I didn't really catch on the last thing, how many of you take lessons, conventional golf swing lessons before? Give me a 1, or give me a thumbs up. Sorry, give me a thumbs up. Let me see that again.
There were a lot of thumbs up.
A lot of thumbs up. Okay. Okay. So what you have learned, and I just did a podcast the other day. I've done multiple TV shows in the last couple of weeks, and I demonstrate this relatively quickly. The problem that you're having, and this is what I call the absolute one mistake. The one mistake you're learning, some side says no sound. Is that right? The one mistake you're learning is this. They have you hanging the arms down here below the shoulders. So they have you set up like this. Okay, so you'll notice that my hands are hanging down and that they're on one plane and the club is on another. Everybody notice that? Okay. The problem with starting here, your address and grip, the problem with starting here is you're not going to impact here. When you swing, watch what happens. You impact on a higher plane. You start here, you impact here. And my body position has gone from here to there. So conventional golf has you too close to the golf ball. They've created a problem right from the beginning. And now when you swing, it all comes down to solving that problem. When you try to sequence and add speed to that, you're trying to solve a problem during the swing. Does that make sense? So the problem starts right at the beginning. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to simply solve the problem right at the beginning. I'm going to give you a model that makes impact easier. I'm going to start the club where I impact. So instead of starting here, I'm going to start here. I'm going to put my arms into an alignment with the club. Now there's a little more to this and I'll explain it in a minute, but now I have a single plane and watch what happens. I can now take the club back and look at this. See that club, that's on the same plane. I can come down on the same plane and I can impact on the exact same plane. So I'm swinging the club on a single plane, but biomechanically, the way my body works, that is the easiest way to hit that golf ball with this golf club consistently at impact. So it comes down to solving the problem, giving you a model, and the model is a single plane model back and down on the exact same plane. And believe it or not, the club even finishes on the plane. So this is the natural way to hit a golf ball, by the way. This is the method of the ball striker that was the greatest in the world. His name was Mo Norman. I became friends with Mo back in 1994, and this is where I learned how to swing the golf club. I learned to swing from the best ball striker in the world. It's basically a single plane golf swing. So let's go through the positions of this motion, and these are the positions you absolutely must learn. These are the model. This is the model you must learn. If you learn to do this position by position, then you can put these positions together into a sequence and you can add speed. It comes down to that. So all you have to do, your only job, and this is where it gets simple, your only job is learn positions. And if you learn the positions, you can then sequence, you learn sequence, you can then add speed, and you'll have a great golf swing. Let me show you the positions of the swing. So address and grip. And you'll notice some interesting things about address and grip. Notice the alignment of my lead arm. Notice the tilt of the body. Notice the framing of my legs. You might even notice the rotation of my feet. So there's a number of things that we look for in the address to establish my single plane address. Now I turn everything together. There's position 1. Then I leverage to position 2. There's a very important position because I'm in leverage position. The club has wrist hinge, so I got leverage. So there's position 1, position 2. Now I change directions, position 3, impact position 4, extension position 5. Look at my head staying still through 5. And then my head moves forward to position 6 where I'm on my left side, and then I stand up. So you'll notice that those are the only positions you have to learn in the swing. I'll go through them one more time. Address and grip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let me ask you this. Every one of you, don't you think you could learn those positions just by doing that? It's like learning the notes of a piano. You do this enough, you do enough reps of this. Everyone that's watching this program, everyone sitting in this room can easily learn those positions. There's nothing magical about those positions. I'll do it from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So simple, right? Now you got to agree that you can learn those positions. The problem is you've never done this before. You've never looked at the golf swing like it's a dance move. You've never done it. You go out there and hit golf balls and you miss the position, and then now your club's in a really bad spot, and now you try to solve that problem. You make up for it. You come over the top, hit behind the ball. You get some result, and you're like, wow, I'm not hitting it good because you're missing the proper positions of the club. So that's what I'm talking about in this whole program is we want to solve. We're solving we're solving your issues in 2 ways. 1, I'm giving you a perfectly simple swing model that all of you are capable of doing, but I'm teaching it position by position. And then what you do is you start removing positions. I'm going to remove position 1 to 2. I'm going to go right to 2. So now I got a backswing, right? So that's how you blend things together. We have to learn this like we're learning to dance. And then we develop a golf swing. Now here's the thing about it. This is what I call my progressive formula. That's exactly how we teach it. And I've been doing this now. Oh, I guess, Scott, how long have we been doing the single thing 30 class?
Oh, gosh. We're
2.5 years?
2.5 years.
So 2.5 years, we've been formulating this. My team said, hey, Todd, can you please put this together in a program that does this for people in the shortest period of time possible? Because I want to save you time. I want to save you energy. I want to save you money. I want to save you effort. I want to save you all the stress that goes into all this stuff. How can I help you? And I put together a 30-day program because, you know, people will say, I'll fix your swing with one swing tip. I'll fix it with a quick fix. It never works. You know it never works. I have to teach you just like I would teach you to dance in a progressive way. So I put together a 30-day training program, and you train with me in this program. Let's go through this program. So I want to show you in detail what this program does, because it's not only about you practicing correctly. It's about we're putting this model into the program. So you're learning a perfect golf swing in a perfect way. And now, the research behind this program is how the brain is also working. So you don't need to know this, but the way the brain develops it, you must reprogram the brain. It's called myelination. So the brain has to work in a certain way. You have to do repetitions on this. So this is our 30-day progressive program. So week one of the program is right here. So we teach you this part of the program, address and grip. This is the first part of the formula in week one. Okay? This is going to make 100% sense to you. If you don't have a great foundation, you can't move into the positions of the swing. In week two, we teach you the key positions. There's actually 6 positions. If you count the address position, there's 7. So there's the key positions of the swing. Just kind of what I showed you, the key positions. But let me show you something. Oh, by the way, this is week 3. So this is week 3 sequence. So 3. So I'll put the weeks up here. 1, 2, 3. And obviously this is week 4. But let me show you something really quickly about what's happening. Because there's some data you need to know. There's some things you need to know that are really important to understanding why these positions are so important. And I'll just go to some experience that I have. When you learn to swing a golf club, here's what's actually happening. And I've seen this happen with thousands of students over time that learn this thing in the right way, is the positions allow the body to be in what we call stability. So notice my legs are stabilized. So they're framed up. So when I rotate my body, my trail leg is staying still, but my body is moving around that trail leg. When I change directions, we call this transition, I go into a stable lead leg. And then I work around that leg. So for the body to produce motion, one part of it has to stay still for the next part to move. Well, guess what? When that happens, we call it sequencing. So sequencing, the body has everything to do with positions. If I don't have the positions correct, for example, if this leg moves or it keeps rotating, see it's not stable, the rest of the body can't work. So this is why training the positions becomes incredibly important. Now, this is the 4-week training program, week 1, week 2, week 3, 4. And built into this is teaching you stabilization so you can sequence. It's called the braking system. That is built into the program. So I just want you to know, all this is built into this program where you train with me and I show you exactly what I've learned over 30 years of how to perfect a golf swing in 30 days. Now, one of the most important things about this is accountability. If you don't do the training, you don't get better. So we built in a daily training module. This is the greatest thing about it, because here's the thing about daily training. You know as well as I do, the last thing you want to do is wake up and go, what am I supposed to do today? And we found out through tons of research of our customers and over all the years I've been teaching that people want to be told what to do, exactly what to do. And we want to be able to do that for you, because I want to take the guesswork out. Again, I told you you're going to stop guessing. So we put a daily training module in. So every day you wake up, you get notified, and there's a training module, right? Now, the other thing we have that you're going to want, because you may have questions that you have about what's going on in the program, you might want some help. We have coaching and support feedback. So a couple times during the week, the coaches hop on and do live sessions with you so you can ask questions to the coaches. So we're supporting you throughout this program. We're not just throwing the instruction at you saying good luck. We're monitoring you and coaching you. Here's an example inside of the single plane 30 space in the program. Inside of the space, you're going to see a place where you can put pictures and talk to the coaches. So we are interacting with you as you go through this program. By the way, I just want to put this out there. There's nothing like this in the world of golf. You will never see a program like this anywhere else but in single plane 30. And then I want you, and so you got coaching support, you got accountability, you got the training program, you got all these things, and most people think, Todd, this program is going to be super expensive. It's really, we've made it so inexpensive because we're so good at what we're doing. We're so effective in doing this. Let's go through what the program actually is. You have the 30-day progressive training program, $649 value. The accountability, working with the coaches, make sure you have coaching support. That's $349 and $998. The coaches are expensive here at Graves Golf. And then you got the single plane fitness routines. We're going to add the fitness routines in because you may run into a few things while you're doing the program where you're like, I don't have the flexibility. We work through that with you. That's another value add to the program. This value package is $2,194. We do this every single month for $297. And I got even more to stack onto that in just a second. But that's the price of the program. If you look at the link on there, and Scott, are you in the chat? You can put the link in there, gravesgolf.com/enroll. And I'm going to keep going through this process here with you. But if you're interested in signing up for the program, we have some specials for tonight only, by the way. So if you sign up tonight while you're watching this, you get some special deals. But it's gravesgolf.com/enroll. Now, here's what's cool about the program. You train with me. So I do this with you. I give you my insights on training. I show you what I do. I actually do the training with you. So you're getting to work with me directly on how I've built my golf swing, what I learned from Mo Norman, and the best ways to apply the stuff you're learning inside Single Plane 30. So this is what you get to do throughout this program. The Single Plane 30 fitness and stretching program, this will help you do all the stuff you need to do to get your body in the right positions as you progress. We've actually added this year to the program because the previous year of the program, students said, hey, Todd, can you put some of the stretching stuff, some of the tough stuff we have trouble with, we put this into the program. I'm going to do this for you tonight. I produced a journal. Scott, do you have a copy of the journal anywhere? No. So I have put together a single plane training journal. This guides you through the training in the program. You'll see it here. I'm going to throw that in for tonight if you want to get a copy of the journal. And then here's what we're doing also. And we just started this, and I volunteered my time for this, is for a limited time, you can join the Single Plane Level 3, which is our mentorship program. So in other words, we are coaching you, and you get for the 30 days you're in the class, the coaches work with you. What that means is you can go and send videos to our coaches, and they will see how you're doing. Now, you might send your address position. You might send this to a coach, this position. You might send this position. You might send this position. If it was me, I'd be sending the pictures and videos of me hitting positions to make sure I'm nailing the positions as I go through. And you have access to do that when you join the program. That's a big deal because now you're getting monitored and you're getting feedback. So that's what I put together in this entire program tonight. But that stuff's only available tonight. Some of those things go away if you don't join tonight. So you got the Single Plane 30 program, the $2,000 value. You got the Train With Me. You got the strength training program. You got the training journal. You got the mentorship trial. That's a $100 value per month. We charge $100 per month to get mentorship from our coaches. And it's gravesgolf.com/enroll. Now, I want to show you something about the single plane swing as you guys look into that. Oh, I forgot about the slide.
Yeah, let's start this.
So look, we also know that when you train and practice, you need to be practicing correctly. And you've seen me what I'm doing up here. Let me go through what these training aids are. And these retail for a little over $400 for all the training aids, but watch this. So this is the alignment ball position trainer. One of the most important things you can do, and when I go into my address and grip position, and I'll kind of coach you with this, is to make sure my foot position's correct and the ball position's correct. Now, I want to point out a couple things here. I'll go into my address position. When I'm setting up here, and I'm just standing here, right, in a perfect single plane address, there's a lot going on, believe it or not. The way I'm envisioning my hands, the way I see the club, my perception, my perspective that I'm seeing, the way my body feels, the way my lead shoulder feels higher than my trail shoulder, all those things are happening when I just stand there. So in other words, my body is learning, my brain is picking up information just from standing in position. People miss out on this concept because they ignore how important the starting position is. They ignore that all experiences are teaching you. So how do you learn something effectively? You have more experiences. So the more I experience a perfect address, the better I get at it. And so we use this alignment trainer to monitor the fact, giving us feedback. We're in a perfect ball position and a perfect foot position and address position. That's what that on the ground is. This single plane 6-iron, this training club, is designed, it's painted a certain way, it's hittable, and has a training grip on it. It allows me to get my hand position correct, back of the hand to the target, lead arm alignment, thumb in the correct place. The paint allows me to get the proper lean of the shaft. The trail hand now is formed, it fits in the proper position. And then when I put the club on the ground, it gives me the proper distance from the ball. So again, this teaches me a ton about shaft position, arm position, hand position, and distance from the ball. So I got two very critical training aids here that help me make sure I'm practicing correctly and getting the right feedback and biofeedback when I'm training. There's a third training aid we like to have you use, and it's called the single plane trainer. This one's very interesting because it has the same training grip on it. It creates an alignment with the lead arm. And now what happens is it keeps the single plane relationship throughout the entire swing, and it teaches me a single plane. You watch this trainer work, it goes back, right to the plane, back down, and right back to impact plane, and it's referencing the lead side of the body, and guess what? That's where impact is. So this is teaching you the single plane to impact positions, this trainer. Now, for tonight, the training aids for tonight only, I want to save you $271. So we let you have an option when you check out to select right-handed or left-handed, what training aids that you want. You get them for $149 plus shipping and handling. So basically it's like almost more than half price, right? So half price off. So we're saving you a ton of money because we want you to practice correctly. That's tonight's package, by the way. You got single plane 30, you can take the class by itself, or you can select what training aids will help you get through the class. Questions? Great, let's answer a few questions. Yes, from YouTube, can you bend the left arm and still hit the ball with consistency? It depends on what's causing the bend of the arm. Let me show you this. This is called ulnar deviation, and you're going to hear me talk in some biomechanical terms because one of the things that I want to get very clear about instruction is that I don't guess at anything. I have exactly what the body needs to do and positions it needs to be in. So this is called ulnar deviation. This is when the arm gets reached out, and this, I'll come a little closer to the camera, so my arm gets fully ulnar deviated. It creates a straight line, and I got a straight line. The reason I'm bringing that up is because when I take this arm back, it can stay, this is called radial deviation. That's hand hinge. When I go radial deviation, the club goes on the plane, okay? So I go from ulnar in my backswing, then I go radial, and then my left arm's here. So if I get radial deviated well, a little bend in the arm is fine because I can get to that ulnar deviation at impact, which squares the face. However, what I see happen a lot is people have an incorrect thumb position, their hands on there incorrectly. That doesn't allow radial deviation. So if you take your thumb and you move it too much like this, if it's too jammed up, that it won't radial deviate, and then the arm will bend. So again, you're going to find that any question you guys ask, I will solve with my formula. So here's what I will do. Let's say you're in single plane 30 and you send a video to the coaches and they see your arm bending. They're going to look for the cause of that bend. So one thing I want to put up here is, and you won't be able to see this very well, C-A-U-S-A-L, causal. We teach from a causal perspective. That means we're not looking for the bend of the arm. We're looking for what causes the bend of the arm because there's a biomechanical reason for it. And so we're going to go through our formula. Look at your address and grip. Is your grip position causing the arm to bend, right? And notice this formula. So let me give you an example. So let's say I go out there and I don't hit it well. I play around in golf, I don't hit it well. You know what I do? I come back and I go look at my address and grip. Then I look at the positions of my swing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I find where I don't like the position. This is what the coaches do when they coach you. That's why we give you the mentorship program in this program, because we want to be coaching you through this. So you go through the positions, and then I wonder why I can't sequence and speed. Sequence and speed usually gets really easy when my positions are good. So I am using my formula to solve all my swing issues, and I'm good, by the way. And I can solve my problems. I might hit it badly, might be ball position, my address and grip, ball position. Might be my position 1, doesn't feel very good. Maybe I'm taking it too far to the inside. Whatever it is, I will find it right here. So this is not only the way I teach people to swing, it's the way I diagnose all the problems. It's the way I maintain my golf swing, right? Maintain it, I just use this formula, and it's the way I strengthen my swing. I'm always working towards the correct model. Think about that. That might be the most important thing I've said tonight, is you're always working towards the same model. You're not guessing anymore. You're not out there randomly guessing. You're not watching a bunch of crazy stuff on YouTube. You're working on the same thing over and over again. That's so important. How I got better. Next question: how do we know when we know enough to go to the driving range? Well, it's not about knowing anything, right? It's about, can you hit the positions correctly? And so let me tell you what we do at Graves Golf here. We only let you sequence as fast and go as fast as you're able to hit the positions correctly. Let me say it again. I would not produce any faster sequence, and the minute you start losing your positions, you got to slow down and go back into training. So again, you're trying to get results, but I would ask this question: how are your positions? Are they perfect? Can you sequence those perfectly? Then how much speed can you actually add when you start and keep those positions? If you can do it all perfectly and you can sequence and the club moves correctly, because we have ways of monitoring the club, go hit balls, great. But you gotta be getting feedback on your positions, making sure they're correct. I don't want you out there pounding golf balls with incorrect movement. You know why? Because you'll learn incorrect movement. That's what we've been doing. That's why we're here, because we keep doing it incorrectly and we try to sequence bad club positions, and then we have to compensate for it. Next question. Frank, this is a good question. The entire single plane 30 course is done away from the range, not on the range. In your house, you got some space in your garage, you got some space in your basement, someplace you can move your body and move a golf club. Most of it's done in slow motion, not super fast. So we do the entire single plane course away from the range. So you do not need to go to the range to do single plane 30. That's the way it's designed. From Gary: I'm 77, have limited flexibility. How far must I rotate in the backswing to correctly maximize your swing dynamics? Well, I can give you exact numbers. So what we look for is, let me go to the backswing rotation and show you exactly what happens in the backswing, okay? So I'm at address and grip. 2/3 of the rotation of the body occurs to here, Gary, 2/3. So most of the rotation of the backswing is right here. Most of this from here back is arms and shoulders. There's very little turn there. So you have most of the pelvis and torso turn, and then mostly arms and shoulders. And what that does, it puts the club nicely on plane. Notice there's no gap. See, there would be gap between my legs. That's too much turn. Watch this. No gap between my legs. Look at the club. It's right on plane. See that club? It's matching the plane. So we don't require a lot of turn, but we have to move the arms and hands to a plane position. So that's what we train in single plane 30. Again, I would follow the formula: address and grip, position 1, position 2, how the position is doing. Make sure we're getting you enough leverage in the club. I'm in the off season. Should I wait to do single plane 30? No, single plane 30 should be done all the time. It doesn't matter where you are in your season. If you're in the off season, it's a good time to do it because you can do it indoors. But I recommend people are doing single plane 30 as their go-to training, no matter when they're doing it. There's never a great time to do single plane 30. You should always do single plane 30, right? So I mean, I use this formula. You train it, you repeat it, you diagnose with it. You need to keep doing it. It's just something it's a staple. It's like working out. It's like, when should I work out? Well, you should always work out. You should always be in shape. You should always maintain your body. You should always, right? So this isn't something, it's not a one and done program. This is a progressive program. So I want you to learn the program. Learn it through single plane 30 and then use this program forever, rest of your life. Let's go through the thing one more time. So we got the single plane class. Single plane 30 class. You got the train with me inside the program for $6.99. You got the stretching program and the fitness stuff that's in there. It's a $197 value. You got the training journal, which I'm throwing in tonight only, and the mentorship trial is $99. And also we're throwing in the training aid bundle for $149. It was $149?
Yeah, it's $149 plus shipping.
$149 plus shipping. So that's tonight only as well. So I'm giving you that deal. That's on the landing page or on the sales page when you check out. So gravesgolf.com/enroll if you want to take advantage of all that stuff. But most of that stuff's tonight only. If you don't get it tonight, you're going to have to pay a lot more for it after this program's over. Yeah, there's the training aid special right there. Another one from YouTube. Thanks for coming on again, Todd. We love this. First question of the day. Talk about the knees. I keep being told straight knees but not locked. How straight is straight but not locked? So do this. So what we want, let me just explain what I want in the legs. So when we set up, notice that if I keep my legs pretty straight, my pelvis gets pushed back it's called forward bend. If I bend my knees, you see how my torso stands up. So we don't want knee flex. We want to be able to push the sacrum back. This is the sacrum right here in my back. And I do that with basically straight legs. And then a slight knee bend, but you got to push the pelvis back first before you give myself a knee bend. What I'm looking for is an alignment of the ankle and the hip joint. So hip joint to the ankle. If I see knee flex, hip joint doesn't line up with the ankle. So again, the whole concept of knee bend is a problem in golf because people are like, well, get knee bend. Well, watch this. Again, I teach, it's common sense. If you get too much knee flex, you can't turn the pelvis. So now you don't make a backswing. You go and you can't take a backswing. So you want the legs in a position where you can rotate around that trail leg. So watch this. My knee is staying still as I turn around it, right? I'm not bending the knee when I go back. I'm not locking the knee out when I go back. I'm basically keeping it stable as I turn. That's why there's no gap between my legs. So push your pelvis back and then barely bend the knees and you'll have perfect alignment. Mike, what does it mean to be stuck and how does single plane help? Stuck is a term used in golf where the club is too far behind the body. Watch this. I'll solve that one with my single plane trainer, okay? So notice this. Well, let's do it with the club first. This is a really good, I like this question because I don't get asked it very often. But notice when I set up in a perfect alignment, notice, I'll take my left hand off the club. Notice how the club is pointing to the lead side of my body. Everybody, give me a thumbs up if you notice that, right? So the club's left-sided. I call that left-sided. Notice at impact, again, the club is left-sided, right? That means the club is striking the ball. That's why the face can be square, because I'm getting angle of approach, downward angle. That's why you should take a divot. And then the ball is struck. So it's left side of my body. So notice I start with the club on the left side of my body, right? Well, watch this. When I take the club to position 1, the club is still going to the left side of my body. And position 2, believe it or not, that is still referenced left side of my body. That's what we call swing plane. Swing plane means the club will go to the left side of the body. For example, if this club was steep, or if this club was behind, off of plane, see it's behind. It's no longer going to the left side of my body, right? It's coming from inside. So watch this. So if I reference this, 1, 2, 3, look at 3. 3 gets it right back in front of me. 3, this is not stuck. This is stuck. This is not stuck. And then I go to impact left-sided, boom. That club always comes straight down the plane. So we have to get more reference left-sided. You train positions and the club moves on the plane. And then if it's on plane, it's not stuck. Okay, so we have to, again, I'd have to use my formula, find out what's causing it to get stuck, and it's somewhere in the position coming down to position 3. Next question. I've watched videos of Mo and it looks like he aims to the right and hits a straight pull. So what you're seeing with Mo a lot of times on video is what we call the radius of the golf swing. When you hit a longer club like a driver, the feet are lined to the right, short irons to the left. That's the radius of the golf swing. So a lot of times when you see Mo hit a golf ball with a wood, his feet look to the right, which is same thing as Ben Hogan. This is the radius of ball position. So what you're seeing is correct, that it looks like the ball's going left of his feet line, but it's really the radius of the swing. So it's built into this trainer, by the way, that when you stand to this trainer correctly, this actually staggers my feet slightly closed because of the arc of the swing. So when I'm hitting a driver, it looks like my feet radius are slightly to the right. When I hit a short iron, they're slightly to the left. Again, it has everything to do with club design and radius of the golf swing. That is actually the ideal way for ball position. And so it looks like the ball starts left, but that's actually correct biomechanically. Next question. I've spent so many years learning the traditional way of starting over. Seems daunting. How long does it take to learn this method? I'm running out of time. 30 days, man. That's why we created a 30-day program. If you do, that's a great question in the sense of that's why I built the program. Because if you hit the correct positions for 30 days and do the reps, if you look at that training module, we're doing sometimes 20, 30, 40 reps a day, sometimes twice a day. So the training modules, go back to the training module. Look at this training module. So look at this. It says 5 sets of 20 reps.
100 reps.
Doing 100 reps on, what is this? This is position 0. This is on a dress. So this is having you Do reps of the address position. Then you're going to do reps of 1, reps of 2. We're rewiring your brain in 30 days. So how long does it take to learn? We have to rewire your brain. We have it done in 30 days. You should hit every position. And here's the thing, you need to test yourself on positions. If you're not hitting the positions, position by position, you shouldn't be out there trying to swing full speed. So this is the actual fastest way to reprogram the brain. How long does it take to learn? How long it takes to reprogram you? We did it in 30 days with this program. Where is a club face pointing? Here's a question. Where is a club face pointing just before the right arm folds in the backswing? Brian B. Yeah. So position 1. So there's position 1. Look at the club. And then that radial deviation brings the club on, face on the plane. So it should look about like that in position 1. That's where it's pointing. All right, let's go through this one more time.
Then we'll have a few more questions.
But by the way, let's talk about this program really quickly. What day does it start, Scott, in March?
March the 2nd.
So here's the way we run this program, and I probably should have mentioned this earlier. We start the first Monday of the month, so March 2nd is a Monday. The training module will drop on that day, and then you'll get modules every single day. I'll be with you on some of those modules, and the coaches will start coaching you live as well. We start everything, so that's 2 weeks away, right? How many days away is that?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So we got 2 weeks, right? So we want to start everybody in the same place, because then we coach you and we monitor you and we're all speaking the same language. I don't want people coming in, they're hitting golf balls and one guy's starting the address position. That's why we do this. We've been doing this now for 2.5, almost 3 years, where we're literally coaching every single month. The program is designed to work best that way, and it's designed to help you best that way. That's why we did it. It's better for us as coaches to serve you that way, because we're able to coach you in a much more progressive, better way. We know exactly where you're at. When we present to you and we discuss your swing and we talk to you about your swing, when we're doing the live sessions, we're all speaking the same language because we're all training the same stuff. That's why I keep doing it this way. And it's not just throw a bunch of information at you. You don't need more information, people. You don't. You don't need us barking more instruction at you. You need us guiding you. That's what this program is about, is us guiding you through the problems. You're going to run into some issues. You're going to run into a problem. You're going to have trouble with the position. We're here to help you through it. That's what it's all about. Because it's not, learning takes time. It takes energy. It takes effort. This class is a perfect way to do it. We're guiding you through that. So again, single plane class, you got the training with me, you got the stretching program, you got the journal, and that journal is only tonight only, by the way. And then you got the training aid, you got the mentorship trial, $297. That's what it's going to cost for the entire month of training. But I'll throw something on here that's not on this thing. If this doesn't transform you and help you, I'll give you 100% of your money back. So if this doesn't help you and you go through the 30 days, by the way, we know if we track you as you're going through the program because we're coaching you. We know exactly what module you're doing. We know if you're completing the modules. If you go through the program, you're like, it didn't work for me. I didn't even like it. I'll give you your money back. So that's what I'll do for you, because I want this to be a guarantee, because I know if you do it, it's going to help you. Any more questions?
Yeah, we got about 5 more.
All right, in your tilt, do you move your lead hip forward, or is your lead leg in line with your tilt? Oh, I see, at address, right? Is that an address question?
Yes.
So watch this. If I was standing straight up and down, okay, like this, I put my feet out, my lead foot has more rotation than my trail foot. We talk about this in the class. When I go to tilt, notice my body lowers. Look at my hip naturally goes forward. That's a natural progression of the hip, because that's called side bend, and then I go forward bend. So you'll see the hip gets slightly pushed forward, and then we have measurables to make sure that this is correct, right? So it's a side bend that pushes I can't do that. Part of that's because of the proper rotation of the feet. So if I get my feet correct, if my feet are too much in, it gets too much. If I'm both turned out, then it's weird. So we talk about correct position of the feet so that I get the proper tilt of the pelvis and the proper tilt of the torso, and that gets my proper single plane alignment. Again, it's all biomechanics. We walk you through every bit of this inside the single plane 30. So yes, the pelvis does go slightly forward, but it's because of the position your body is in. I see Mo use a 10-finger grip. Do you recommend using? I don't recommend. Actually, let's clarify this really quickly. Mo did not use a 10-finger grip until 1994. So every tournament Mo won, everything, it was overlapping. And then he changed to 10-finger. Now, When he changed, it didn't really affect his swing because he already had a great golf swing. It didn't affect his swing. I recommend people use an overlapping grip because I want to unify the wrists together. I want to get the hands working together, and I don't want the hand rotation to get off. Sometimes that happens with 10 finger. Both grips work, but I recommend overlapping when you learn the single point swing. Exactly what Mo did when he was younger. From YouTube, how do you check stance width and ball position when playing a round of golf without the ABT in the front of you? Well, it's exactly what I just talked about. You train with this thing and you train your brain on where the ball is. Repetition. Let me ask you this. How do you make a good golf swing on the golf course? Because you train it. How do you know what to do on the golf course when you have a putt? You train the putting stroke. So repetition is your trainer. I should put this on the board. The only way you're going to get better is that if you don't do any of this, you don't get better, right? So you got to do reps. And I just told you that repetition is more than just reps. Repetition is your brain picking up information. So when I set up like this, I see my stance width, I see my ball position, my brain. So let's say I'm on the course and the ball's back in my stance. I'll know immediately. It doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right because your brain's like something's off. Because I've trained this with so many reps that I know subconsciously what's right and wrong is. You have to put in the reps. That's what single plane 30 is all about. It's about reps, doing it correctly. So if I get in here and I train like this, when I go out to hit golf balls, I know exactly where to position my body in my ball position. So that's how I do it. I do it with repetition and training. That's exactly the way to do it. All right, let's go this one more time. The link is available for you guys, gravesgolf.com/enroll. There's also a button at the bottom of the page to join. You'll see some options to choose training aids if you want them. You don't have to choose them if you don't want to, but there's options for training aids when you go to checkout. But here's the thing about it, is some of these things are going to go away if you don't join tonight, so make sure you take advantage of everything tonight, the training aid deal and the training journal or things you can take advantage of tonight only. And also, just to keep you understand, we limit the number of people in this class because remember, the coaches are working with you and we're guiding you through the process and we can only handle so many people. So we limit this to 200 people. So we want you to get in here. Tonight's the first night we're promoting this, by the way. This is 2 weeks before the class starts. And we will now be promoting this class all the way until it starts on March 2nd. So jump in now, make sure you get your seat. We're going to take 200 people in the class for March and take advantage of all these opportunities tonight. gravesgolf.com/enroll.
What is happiness? Happiness is achievement. What's the father of achievement? Motivation. What's the mother? Encouragement. The fine golf swing is truly achievement. Man may lie, cheat, and steal for gain. But he'll never gain the golf swing. To gain the golf swing, man must work. It's work without toil. For those of us who know and love it, golf is truly happiness.